Hello, everyone. We're
Hello.
back with the cameras because we have another guest in our studio. Big word, but the 24 Hours of Spa is this weekend. So our friend, who will be announced later, was around and managed to drop by. He won Spa twice. He won Bathurst 3 times. GT Masters champion. Won GT World Endurance Championship twice. IGTC. He's won Andorra. He's won Daytona.
There goes the tip.
Yeah, he's French, partly Andorran, or how do you want to call it? He copied my hairstyle, and yeah, he's a pretty good endurance driver, and his name is Jules Gounon.
Hello, boys.
Hello, welcome.
You see, when I don't prepare it, it goes to shit.
Yeah, we just Andorra always stays in the back of your mind.
Yeah,
It never goes out.
It doesn't leave the head. No, it hurts.
Jacqueline is not laughing, though.
Yeah, we'll come to that topic later, maybe. But yeah, welcome to the show, Jules.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you. We will come to that later as well, but we actually planned for the first time to have Michelle and you together. But unfortunately, Michelle had a race last weekend, so it's difficult to organize that. But maybe we'll do that another day. Would be, I think, a premiere, no?
The first female driver on the podcast, or what you mean?
Yeah, and couple as well.
Yeah.
Like that.
This is actually very true.
Yes.
Good point.
Would have been fun, I think.
Yeah. We'll maybe
Yeah.
do a second episode about that.
Yeah, we have to continue on that.
So as always, with every guest we have, we shortly go through your career, how you started, where you came. I think it's also cool to speak about your father, and then a very good source gave me some funny questions for the end. I think Dries also had one, so we'll come to that later. And how did your career start? I guess motorsport's been in the family for you, so
Yeah,
that's the easier part.
quite a lot, because my granddad was actually also an in-climb driver
Okay.
in the 70s, so a long time ago. But basically, my family has a small dealership in Ardèche, which is a very small part of France, where they sell Fiat, Alfa, and all this stuff. And my granddad, for the very passionate guys, was racing a Fiat X19, which is a very old car, but the older people of this podcast will recognize it. And then my dad went through it. He made all the way to F1 at that time, thanks to Marlboro, which in a different generation of driver that we didn't knew. There was a lot of sponsorship from all the tobacco and so on. So he got all to the step, then switched also to Le Mans, finished second in Le Mans overall with a GT, with a McLaren F1 long tail. So that was the Gulf car, pretty amazing
Very
car.
cool.
And then he came back. My dad never stopped working actually in the dealership. So we just have a very particular, let's say, family, because we comes from such a small place. There is basically nothing around Ardèche except beautiful landscape. And my career started very. I think my career is very atypical, as I would say in French, very different. So my dad never wanted me to do go-kart, because obviously we all know how expensive it is.
And I was just to say, he knew how expensive it was.
Exactly. He knew, like, there's no way. And I was really bad at school. I was causing a lot of trouble.
Oh.
My parents divorced, and I got kicked out of a few schools, to not say, at least 5. And at
So you
one
got
point,
something in common. then.
Exactly, we have something in common there. This is actually very nice.
we have the airline, the street to in common, and then that's it. And so I always wanted to do go-kart, and my dad always was saying, no, it's not possible, and so on. And one morning, I remember I was always digging to find the right quote, to make your father guilty of not letting your son do his dream. And I was 15, and I worked on it for a long time. And for my birthday, I'm born the 31st of December, like Michelle, actually. That's also quite fun.
Okay.
Oh.
I went to my dad, and when my dad gave me his gift, I don't remember what it was actually, but I told him, look, the only gift I would like is that you give me the chance that your dad gave you, which is pursuing your dream and do something you would love to. And I saw that day, I was like, yeah,
It was a good-
at
it
the
was a
right
good one.
point. Yeah, like, yes. And that's how it started. And he said, okay, I got your point the day after. And my dad is born the 1st of January, so the day after. And he say, we do a deal. If you pass the next trimestre, I don't know how you say in English, the next 3 months, you know,
Yeah.
with over 15 mark out of 20, which I was more like 8, then I will think about it and we will start together. So the next 3 months, I was at 17.5 or something like this. Suddenly school was very easy when you find motivation. And we started like this. And for me, it was the best years of my life because my dad said, look, we don't have the money, so we don't have the time. You're already too old. You're 15 and I was 15 and a half. And he said, you're against guys that are racing since they are 6. So you're already missing so much experience that you need to compensate. So I have a lot of experience. We don't have a lot of money. So every time you go out on track, you need to learn every single kilometer something. And my dad was my mechanic. We were traveling in the small van, Fiat Scudo, and it started like this. And it was amazing because I have so many stories. Like nowadays, I see guys in go-kart, they come with the mental trainer, physical trainer,
Yeah, it's crazy.
the media guy, the coach, the manager. And I'm like, this is not go-kart. I came with my dad. We had no tent, like nothing. And one story I will remember all my life, we were in the French Championship in Muret. And we was working very well. I was second and whatever. And we park our Scudo next to a big tree to find some leaves to have some shadow in the summer, because it was super hot. And one guy ran out of the Parc Fermé because we were literally next to the Parc Fermé. And he's like, do you have the tool for the clutch crank? And my dad said, yeah, look at my tent. I don't know, you say tent in English? Look at my tent and you will understand. And the guy looked up, see the trees, and the guy could not stop laughing. And he could not leave. He's like, these guys are fucking... And the same championship, you know, when you go in go-kart, you have a toolbox. And we didn't have a toolbox. And my dad was a terrible mechanic, like terrible. So we would always have issue. And he's like, fuck, we need to buy a toolbox because we look ridiculous against all the other. We are so amateur. So we buy a toolbox, but there's nothing in it. And we arrive to the Parc Fermé for the finale, and we are second in the line. And suddenly they start opening the toolbox to check if you don't have stuff to cheat. And they're like, open your toolbox. And my dad is like, no, please don't open it. They're like, why? What do you have? He said, I have nothing in it. It's just to show we have a toolbox like the other guy. They're like, come on, what do you have? And everybody's looking at us expecting to cheat. And my dad opened. There's nothing in the toolbox. So it was all of this that was amazing.
Then cool memories, I guess, to do it together with your dad. Like
amazing.
Exactly.
And the first year I did so many mistakes, as you know, you want to do too much. And the second year my dad said, okay, we do it a bit more professionally. And my best friend was actually also doing some go-kart. And I offered my best friend Thomas to say, look, do you want to come with me and my dad? And we do everything together and we try to win the French championship. And it started like this. I won the French championship in National. It's called Rotax Junior at that time, with my best friend. So it was very emotional and so on. Then I signed a small contract with Sodicart for Yame X30 because I didn't have the money to do KF. And Sodicart was giving me the chassis, but you know how it is. You anyway, I have to spend some money. And my dad always put me a lot of pressure on it. And it was my second year. And he said, if you don't win the world championship, it's not a real world championship, but it's still a good championship, we stop. And actually, I need to watch out. It's going to take too much time. If I have one thing to thank my dad is that he always put me a lot of pressure that so now when I'm in the cars, I feel comfortable with the pressure. We all feel the pressure, but because he was always so rude with me when I was a kid, I was always thinking my dad is a kind of a beep. But actually he did it for me and I thank him now. And I remember the World Championship. I win the 6th heat. I win the pre-final and my dad is still not coming. And I'm like, he's not even coming to look at me. Like, I go into Parc Fermé, he's not there. And I'm like, so disappointed. And while I walk to the grid, I see him to the grillage. I'm sorry for my English. To the grid. Yeah. And he's like, come. He said, well, everything you did is for nothing. So I came for the final, but one thing is sure. If you don't win, we stop because we don't have the money to go in Formula 4. We'll not find the sponsorship if you don't win, so enjoy your race. And he turned around and leaves, and I'm like, what's wrong with him? Like, I was in the grid, I was like this. And I won the championship. We found a lot of sponsors in Ardèche. It was super nice because, again, my career was always made of small things. I remember the painter of my dad, Jérôme, was giving me €2,000. The accountant of my dad was giving me 3,000. And we made it
Yeah.
that way, you know.
Yeah.
If you look at my suit from Formula 4, it's like I have sponsors
NASCAR.
everywhere. I have the supermarket. I have everything. Then I finished second that year behind Antoine Hubert. Unfortunately, that passed
Yeah.
away a few years later. And basically, my dad was always telling me, I do it long story short, but was always telling me, it's going to stop because we don't have the money to go up. And I was always telling him, it's not true, I can make it. And he was right, I didn't make it. So I signed in a Formula Renault team, Katia, that Kurt Mullikens, that I think is with you,
True.
that made effort to have me because we were low on budget and it was not working and I had to stop during the season. And I think that's actually one of the best things that happened to me is that when we are racing, we don't understand what's real life because we are on a different world.
Yeah.
You don't understand how much money everything is worth. You don't understand the issue of people working. And my dad made me work in his dealership as a cleaning guy with cleaning the cars. And suddenly you realize that understeer is not an issue. But working from 8 to 5 for 1,000 euro per month, washing cars is an issue. Or at least it's not fun. And some people do it for life. So that period of my life for 8 months was very difficult because suddenly I realized I didn't work enough in school. I have only the basic grade graduation. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life selling Fiat 500 and Alfa Mito with my dad in Ardèche, which I really didn't want to. This was not my dream. I didn't want to stay in Ardèche because it's very small. I wanted to travel and so on. And I really realized, like, fuck, I have to do something about it, you know. And I was very depressed and so on. And actually, my granddad at that time did something very nice for me for my birthday. He offered me there was a Porsche scholarship thing. There's a nice picture coming for this after with the Porsche Cup. And he tells me, okay, this gift, it was 1,500 or something like this. It's for your birthday, your next birthday, and so on. I make an effort for it. And you go for the scholarship, and that's your last chance. And I went there like if I could kill everyone, you know. So I went in there, and I really did everything to the maximum, won the scholarship, and became Porsche French Junior.
What year was that?
2015. I was against Jaminet, actually.
Yeah.
We fought the whole season. And the season was going well for me, and I was second in the championship behind a guy called Maxime Just, that was in his third year, was good. And unfortunately, in Navarra, I did something quite... you won my cow upside down. I put a Porsche on the top of another Porsche.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I also never
is it
knew it
you,
was
that
him.
video?
Yeah.
Was it you?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
But you said you broke your back with that, doing that,
I
right? Or your
cracked
neck?
the top of my neck, the C7.
Oh, fuck. I never thought it was
Stupid
you.
crash, crazy. I never
How
understood
long
it.
did you need to realize what was going on?
But so I went to the inside, you know, we were 3 wide. I remember I was a bit aggressive. I had a shit quali. Mathieu was on pole. I was pissed. And we were fighting for basically the best rookie after Navarra would be the guy sent to the scholarship.
Yeah.
And at that time I was in front of him, but we were very tight on the points. So it was all about Navarra. The guy, you know how it is in the Porsche ranks. You want to go to the scholarship, you want to win it, and then your career is gone. Is on his way. So I was pissed. I was P6. I think I dived to the inside. We are 3 wide. I touch, which puts my nose in the air. Somebody spun, I think Denarda, and then I don't know what happened. I'm at the top, and I'm like, the tarmac looks fun. And then I hear, somebody's shouting, and I'm like, what is this? And I opened the door. And actually, when I did this, I felt the pain, but I was like, okay, so it's Geoffrey Denarda shouting under me because he was scared that the car will collapse. And I'm like, okay, I'm on top of somebody else with a rear engine. How is that holding on, you know? And yeah, that was it. That was the end of my Porsche career.
So for everyone who doesn't know the story, go on YouTube.
Fuck yeah.
Jules Gounon, Porsche on top of each other, whatever, and you'll find it.
69, car 69, you can find it.
I never thought it was you. I always saw this guy. Fuck, that's a funny crash.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
nice.
it was funny and everybody loved this crash. Now I can laugh about it, but at that time it was, again, career ending.
Yeah.
Because
at
it was
that,
my only chance.
Mm.
And at that time I got also a sickness in my leg, like the MotoGP rider, you know, when the calf when the calf gets too tight. So I had a surgery. I didn't work for 2 months. I pulled 15 kilo. I was 88 kilo, like pretty fat. Maybe that's when you remember me from Adak when I was really fat in my Corvette.
I was also a bit more chubby back then. You sent me the picture a while ago, no?
We should put it on the podcast. There's
Yeah.
one next to you. It's amazing. And then that's where my career really started. So we come to the end. Again, I was in the hospital, career finished, started working with my dad again, being very grumpy, very like the guys that don't make it, better than the others, and you didn't make it for this. You have a lot of excuses. And my dad at that time was doing the BOP for SRO.
This is where actually I met your dad first time, because he was with Claude Saumon.
Exactly.
Driving all the cars to test, give his feedback on BOP. And
exactly. And so he actually spoke about you, I think, because you were there with Stéphane Ortelli, no?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And my dad said, I'm going to Paul Ricard for the BOP. Yeah. You should come. We never know. And I told him, we never know what. Like, come on, we have no money. It's super expensive. Which I did some Porsche Cup, nobody was going to take me. And what's very funny in my destiny is that in my first book for the sponsor, my dad wrote in French, I say it in French, I try to translate. Dis-toi que tu n'as aucune chance. You speak French, you understand? Sauf sur un malentendu. So, how do we translate it?
Say it again.
Dis-toi que tu n'as aucune chance.
Tell yourself you never have a chance.
Sauf sur un malentendu.
Except for a
misunderstanding. On a misunderstanding. Yeah. And I don't go the first day, and my dad is like, come the second day. And I'm like, I was still with crutches from the accident. From my sickness. And I'm like, okay, I go see the cars. But it's painful, it's like,
sure.
You go see the cars and so on. I'm walking in the paddock and I look at the Porsche and the Audi, beautiful. And I'm pissed because I want to drive it. And then I arrive in front of the box 14 or something like this, I remember. And I see a chubby guy, shit jeans, shit Salomon, the Callaway jacket. I didn't even know Callaway. I start speaking with him. I'm like, this guy is the truckie. He's the truckie of the team. The car was there. The Corvette in carbon was the first year. The car was beautiful. I actually like the car. I don't know for you guys, but... Yeah. And we speak. And I don't know, sometimes, with people you have connections. And we have a good connection. And I start to speak, for half an hour. And my dad arrives. And my dad speak to this guy. And he said, Ernst, I introduced you the mistake I did 22 years ago. I was like, that's a nice way to present me, by the way. And he's like, yeah, we're speaking since 30 minutes. And I'm like, fuck, my dad knows the truckie? And my dad said, Jules, this is the boss of Callaway. And I'm like, oh, God. I said so much bullshit since half an hour to this guy. I'm dead. And he's like, but what? So, Jules, we didn't speak. What do you raise this year? I'm like, I raise nothing. I work with my dad. Well, now I'm still recovering. And it continued. My dad tests the car and so on. And at that time, they were champion with Kelvitz 2 years ago with the previous car,
as well.
Which was actually a very good driver, very underrated. And he's like, we lost his teammate, and we have a test in 1 month with different drivers to try to get a seat. It cost 250,000 to do the season. And I'm like, okay, good luck, enjoy. And I said, there's no way. And the guys say, so they are speaking with my dad and so on, and me, we are three. And he's like, well, if you don't have money, we can't do anything. And he sees that I'm very sad. And he said, but you know what? Come in 1 month, I give you 5 laps in that car that you love, because I told him that I was loving the car. And at least you would have driven that car. And I was super happy, but it's like if you tell me I can have one last night with Michelle and then I'm gone, I don't want that. So...
scoring points now.
Yeah, he's a plus.
So I go there with a mixed feeling with my dad, and he's like, you know what I told you about the misunderstanding? This might be your misunderstanding. I'm like, for what? We have no money. At maximum, we get 50K from all of our sponsors. What are you talking about? And I still go. And before I go in the car, my dad goes to me, and so I waited for 2 days. They test all the drivers, and you're waiting, and you know how it is.
Yeah.
Nowadays, for us, it's different because we drive all the time. But when you don't drive for 6 months, you're like, I want to drive. And I'm waiting. And before I go in the car, my dad is like, hit on the shoulder, and he say, enjoy, because the last time you drive a race car. I'm like, you fucking. So I go in the car, and I'm like, okay, if it's the last time, I'm gonna fucking send it. And I drive. They hide the lap time at that time, so I drive full, and I take a lot of curbs, and I box, and everybody's in the pit lane looking at me, and I'm like, maybe the splitter is like this. So I come out, I remember I put my visor down, I look like that. No, the splitter is okay. And I see my dad smiling, which was not often at that time. And he's like this. Ernst comes to me and he says, okay, tonight we go to the restaurant and we speak about it. And I'm like, oh, maybe I did good, you know. And my dad is like, yeah, very good. We go to the restaurant. It's a long story, but it's my career.
Yeah, okay.
We go to the
It's
restaurant
interesting.
and let's say we are sitting like this, my dad and I, and Ernst, and a very small, I'm not going to say small, lower person, Italian, with sunglasses in a dark restaurant in Hockenheim. Anyway, Giovanni. And I speak the whole time, and to be honest, that dinner, I think I said 100 times, give me my chance. I want one thing, it's just one last chance. I even remember at that time, I said, I prefer to stop my career losing against Vantor, Miss, because at that time you were the top guys, than in Porsche Cup and being sad and so on, you know. And I speak the whole dinner and nothing was going on. And I'm like, fuck, it's not working. I remember they asked us the budget. Me and my dad, we showed on the app the money we had on our bank account for them to trust us, because people tend to think when you're a Formula One driver, you make money.
Yeah.
But I think my dad, they said in the time when he did some races in Minardi, was like 100,000 francs, which is, you know, like.
How much euro is that?
Well, you can't really compare, but €1 is 6.5 francs.
Okay.
So, but at that time was a bit different. Anyway, so we showed the bank and everything, and this Italian guy didn't say a word. And I'm like, fuck, this guy is mysterious, you know, and not talking. So. And we go for the dessert, and Ernst say, can you leave us 5 minutes because we need to talk together, Ernst and him. We go out, and with my dad, I say, what do you think? He said, I don't know. Like, anyway, you tried everything, so. And we come back, and Giovanni is talking, and he said, okay, we understand your situation. We like the situation. He say, personally, I do this sport for emotions. This is what I'm looking for. We still need money because these sports cost money. But he say, you know what? The offer we want to tell you is that with the 50, 60K you can get, we do the 2 first races, and then we see what we do for the rest. But at least you would have the chance to fight against the guys you have been telling us. So the Van Doors and so on. And I stood up, shook the hands, and I said, let's go. And it started like this. So we arrived in Oschersleben, GT Masters. Quite a shock, you know, like it was a high level.
Even for me, my first race, City Masters, I was surprised, like, geez, they banged doors over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And was very competitive, you know. It was
The GT Masters was high level. And now
underrated.
It's fun,
It was underrated, you know.
very much.
We don't do a good race, and we arrived Sachsenring. Amazing track, as you know, guys. And again, my dad is like, hey, last weekend, enjoy it, because you know what I mean. We arrived there, and somehow, I don't know what happened, but did a very good quali, and we are P2 in the race, fighting against you, actually, in the orange Audi, if I remember well. And we passed you at the pit stop. I think you had an issue at the pit stop or something. But anyway.
Bad memory.
I
don't
we
even
won.
remember last year.
And we win the race. So I win against Lorenz Vantor, and I think Miss was there also with the Philippi. So a dream gone through. Like, and for me, it was my last race. So I'm like, I can go sell Fiat now, because I knew that day I beat the top guys. You were still 12. So.
Yeah, I was still.
And we arrive on the podium, and honestly, I still have goosebumps when I think about it. And I see a big cake, 60. And I'm like, oh, somebody's turning 60, so that's pretty cool. And I go on the podium. They invite everybody, and then, you know, they invite the team chief.
Yeah.
And in my German is very poor, but I understand 60 Jahre, you know.
Yeah.
And it was the 60th birthday of Giovanni, the co-owner of Callaway. And we are on the podium. He's turning 60 that day. It's the first win of the car. I should have not been there, all because I went to that test day in Le Castellet. And after the podium, I'm crying because it's my last race. He's crying because of the whole thing. And he said, we're going to find solution. We continue the championship. And that's how it went. Season was amazing. And yet, again, last race of the season, I have a massive crash. With,
in Hockenheim.
In Hockenheim, fighting for the championship against Smith and the Philippi. We lose the championship.
Yeah, it was a big shunt.
Yeah,
in the flat kink on the right.
You don't remember it?
Probably when I see
you were side by side,
sure.
No, I think in Aishan had an issue with his splitter. He lifted off in the kink, and I tried to avoid, and I lost the car.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I'm
but it
sure
wasn't
if you
the
look at it,
kink.
Lawrence, you will remember it. It was a red flag. I was gone to the hospital
Yeah.
and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big chance.
Fuck, you have something in common with me then. You had a couple of good ones.
Yeah, this one was big. But I wake up in the hospital and I'm like, how I'm gonna pay for the damage? Like because they put me in morphine in the car because the door handle went through my leg, so I had a lot of pains. Yeah, you will see. You
Yeah, I'm
remember
looking
it.
at it now.
And I had a lot of carbon in my leg, so it was quite shit. But
It's carbon in your leg.
yeah, because the
Fuck.
door handle was like a small trap like this in carbon, and it went inside. And when I got out of the car, it broke a bit of pieces inside, so it was not nice. But
Oh
Not-
shit!
you don't remember it?
No, I never saw it.
I remember. Yeah, I remember. I was watching the race. I think even.
You were maybe driving? No, maybe not.
No, it was 26.
16.
But that was
16.
when I was
Oh.
banned from GT Masters. You remember?
Yeah, true. That was.
That's why. Yeah, you.
Yeah,
were-
after Red Bull, the whole team is never allowed to come back to GT Masters.
Well, actually, I can now tell the story, I guess, because it's.
Yeah, I
I
want to
mean-
know. I remember it. The Audi in P1, all the other.
So we were. I mean, with all respect, my teammate was not so.
I remember it.
Florian
Stoll or
Spengler?
something.
Stolz.
Ah, oh.
Stoll?
Stoll or
Stoll?
something.
Yeah, Stolz. And yeah, he was not very quick. But we always, one race where he had to qualify was shit. The next day when I had to qualify,
Yeah.
I gave the car to him on a good position, and he could defend pretty well. So I think we went on the podium two or three times. And then we come to Red Bull Ring, and there's two brothers owning the team. And to be fair, they're quite smart, and they've always done the team. And I think they won the championship as well a couple of years before that. I don't remember. Anyway, I told him, we found something on the car, which will give us some good performance. So just watch out a little bit in the beginning of the race. Don't blow the BOP or whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay. They didn't tell me what it was.
But
So
it was only in the race, or also during the start of the weekend already.
No, in quali, I think you were on pole.
Yeah, I don't remember, to be honest.
Because I remember all the Audi
yeah,
were
you-
like P15
yeah,
to
yeah, because
P20.
Red Bull Ring is one of the worst tracks.
Yeah,
and,
for the
and
Audi,
we were
yeah.
like pole or in front. And already there was some question marks. And I mean, I was just driving. I didn't know.
But they didn't tell you.
No, they didn't tell
Because
me.
you can say now, huh?
No. I mean, I was obviously at one point suspecting, well, I'm not sure this is very according to the book. But, I mean, what do you do at this point when the driver, when a team tells you to go? And then in the race, I remember the Corvette on the straight was like, I mean, nobody could touch it. And
But you won in front of us.
yeah, and
We
I
were
was
P2.
behind you, and I mean, I didn't know what to do because I was going to overtake you guys every lap on the straight, and I was backing off because I can't overtake the Corvette on the straight. How obvious is that? And then I think it was Kelwitz. He made a mistake.
Yeah.
He ran wide, so I just drove by. And then after that race, I went to Audi and said, look, I mean, I don't know what to do now because this is starting to be very strange, and I mean, I don't want to screw over the team. I don't want to be the one who's like, in school. Like,
Yeah, but basically you did.
yeah, because I'm employed by Audi at that point, not by the team. Audi's paying my bill, not the team. And then I don't even remember Sunday, but then obviously the car got scrutinized like triple times, and they found out that it's something with
The restrictor.
the
no?
restrictor
Yeah.
intake, whatever. And then the team got banned for life, and I even had to go to court for DMSB. I never went, but it went. I got like a penalty point on my DMSB license, and like,
You didn't even have a DMSB license.
yeah, I don't know what it was. It's a long time. It was almost 10 years. I know it was 2016,
16.
16.
Yeah, it's a long time, 8 years.
Yeah,
ago.
8
So
years
I
ago.
only did half of the season.
Yeah, that's why you don't remember.
true.
Yeah,
After that,
yeah,
you
yeah.
never.
That's why you were not there
in our
in
orange
that
suit.
crash.
So you can't remember what happened.
No. But yeah, I'll leave you back to your. No, that's why I probably never saw the crash because then I stopped
Yeah.
watching. I guess.
Yeah, so the crash was massive, and I wake up in the hospital, and I was all could I say was like, I don't know how to pay the bill. I say I can work in
You were
Callaway.
knocked out and everything.
Yeah, I woke
Yeah.
up in the hospital. They passed me out with the morphine in the car, but anyway, so I wake up and it was amazing because this team was so nice. Because nowadays it's beautiful to be a factory driver, but
Yeah,
you're an employee in a way.
sure.
And in that team, the engineer was also a mechanic. Like everybody was working.
Yeah.
Family, like
A
a family
family.
team, yeah.
And I was in the hospital, and they all came together. And on my side was Ernst, on the other side Giovanni holding my hands, and I was crying to say, I cried a lot that year. I said, I don't know how to pay the bills. I cannot pay the bill. I am so sorry. And they say, stop. Shh. They say, we're going to pay the bills, and next year we're going to pay it again, and we're going to go win the championship. And for me, they made my career, because then after them, Chris Reinke, as you know, you both know him, came in there, and I was silver, and he said, we enjoyed fighting with you, and we give you a chance to drive for free in Daytona, which was amazing for me with Chris Smith, the Philippi, and Jeffrey Schmidt, I think.
Yeah.
We finished second. It was amazing. They gave me another drive for Sebring for free, and then I got my first paid factory drive for Spa, and I was 22. Everything was amazing for me and was working well in ADAC, and then I won Spa like out of nowhere with Winkelhock and Az. Yeah. And my career was start from there. Yeah. So it's all about being at the right place at the right time, meeting the right guy.
You need to. I mean, I always say you need to be lucky, but in the end, I also believe that you create your own luck by being at the right, by going to the test, by speaking to the people, and for sure you need a percentage of luck with that. But
so that was pretty much where I am. At the beginning, which led me to be in this basement with you guys.
Yeah, true. Because after that, I mean, you made quite a nice career so far. I mean, you're still young, so you still have some time to go. But until now, like Lawrence just mentioned, you already have some pretty cool races on your palmares.
Yeah, it was quite cool. The last few years have been really nice to me. So
also something which I've been in, because I know you are, for example, doing a lot of taking a lot of suits and giving away a lot of suits. You're doing a lot of, how do you say this?
Swapping?
Suit exchange.
Swapping, exchange. I remember I got your suit from Bentley. How was that time with M Sport? Because, I mean, M Sport, everybody knows. It's a massive, big guy behind it, doing a lot of winning so many WSC championships to run the team. I mean, and also Bentley. I mean, okay, maybe
it's quite an
was a bit
brand.
of a difficult car, maybe sometimes, but it was a cool car, had a nice sound. So how was that time actually?
I'm lucky to have both of your suits. So I'm trying to do because before making it, I was a big fan of motorsport. So I'm trying to collect a lot of suits, which I have, which is cool. But Bentley was amazing, to be honest, because it was like full factory effort, not customer racing at all. 6 drivers, 6 factory drivers, no customer team. We could play, as you know, guys, with the BOP because you have 6 paid guys, so you basically do what they tell you. And we were on the order of Malcolm Wilson, which was a boss that taught me a lot. He was very strong boss, strong-headed.
He looked like a strong character.
It was really hard, but he taught me a lot, to be honest. And he was putting a lot of pressure on the guys, but it's also like one story I remember in Bathurst, we were always so close to get the victory.
Yeah, exactly.
And in 2020, we had a fast car, and we were leading. Yeah, we were leading, I think, before the last pit stop when I was finishing my last double stint. I'm suited, fully ready. The car is coming like in 1 minute. Malcolm comes, grab my hands like this, and he say, sorry for the swearing, you better not fuck up or you don't come back. And I'm like, okay. That's
You're like, yeah, it's like my dad.
I was like,
I'm used to it now.
It's a good motivation speech, like NBA style. And it was just very hard work, but also very rewarding to work with him. And I learned a lot, and the car was really cool. The sound inside the car was crazy.
How difficult was it to sit on the other side?
It was quite difficult. My first test with them, it was in Motorland. They still had the big round sausage curb. I think I hit all of them for 5 laps. Every lap, boom, boom. And it's not like if it was an R8. The Bentley was massive.
A big car,
It was massive. And my first race on the right side, I did one test. They signed me. First race, Bathurst, where you need to be close to the wall. So I was like, I arrived there. First time Bathurst, first time on the right side. And my 2 teammates were very experienced. Guy Smith, that won Le Mans overall, and Stephen Kane. I said to Guy, give me the tips. How do you know if we are close to the wall? And Guy was like 40 at that time, so I was for sure respecting him. But you know, when you're 21, you're like, okay, the old guys they don't take the risk. And he's like, when you go to the walls, you're gonna see the sun because the door is gonna open. I'm like, what is he talking? I'm like, this guy. And in practice, I'm far, and at one point I have a moment. And suddenly I see the light because with the exhaust so close and the car being so heavy, the door were like paper thin. Like the carbon was so thin. That's why with this car, when we got a contact, the car was getting ripped apart because they made such a hard work to reduce the weight. Because imagine the Bentley Continental is like a 1.9 ton car. That the door would open because with the gas of the exhaust, you would have the joint like opening. And I came back and I'm like, I have to say sorry to you. He's like, why? He said, because I thought you were kind of a bullshitter guy telling me this, but you were right. I saw the sun and now I have a good tip for the race. So no, it was amazing time. We were doing only 10 races per year. We would always go 3-4 days before. You remember IGTC at that time was very good. We would go, when we went to Suzuka, we hiked Mount Fuji. We went to Kyalami for holiday safari. And it was just different times than now with IMG when you do 35 race weekend per year and you have no time for nothing. No. So no, it was a special time. We were all very close, the drivers. And I think we all have the problem now. Like when we drive against our other teammate on different championship, you, Lawrence, maybe a bit less, but us more in GT3. Like if I race against Lelo in British GT and the week after I'm with him in GT World Challenge, you don't have the same aggressivity that you would have against somebody else because you're like, this is my teammate. Mm-hmm. I need also to respect him and we are going to race together next week. So that's always a tricky situation, I feel, for us.
But always...
Why are you laughing now?
No, because nothing bad, but just as a joke. But you said like I always have to take care because I have to race the next week with him. But in Bathurst, you pushed each other off, and then the next weekend you did Daytona and you actually won together. But
well, it was the other way around. We won, and then, But for Bathurst, as I said, I would sell my mother. I think you guys too. So I turned.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a very nice country actually, and it's a very nice race.
You won it. We actually all won it here.
Yeah, true. Now after Lawrence, after so many years, we finally got into the.
That took me a little bit longer, yeah.
Into the table as well, but we all won it.
So you've been through your career, like you've accomplished a lot of things, and it's the way how you got there is very nice, and also I think a good example for younger listeners who are in their start of the career. And we can see a lot of guests. There's rarely a path where everything goes smooth. And that's what the younger guys need to realize as well. But for the future, what's left? What do you want to achieve when you stop racing in, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30 years? What's your ultimate dream? What do you want to achieve?
Well, to have a good hairline.
You worked on that.
Dries will join us soon in the club.
Will have to.
He's laughing, but it's coming.
I went to the hairdresser today. I mean, now that's why you see it now today, because I went this morning. But normally...
That's what we say all until one point. Well, I don't think too much about the after career. Like, I'm really focused into the career. I really want to step up in hypercar full time to come with you boys to make a pain in the ass for you guys. But I don't know. I still have a lot of things I want to achieve in my career. As a Frenchman, as you said, half Andorran, even if I'm not half of anything, I'm just a Frenchman living in Andorra. But my biggest dream is for sure to win Le Mans overall. It's, I think, for French. Especially, I want to beat my dad that finished second and to say, you see, Daddy. I want him to look at me when I'm up there. So,
how old are you now?
I'm 29. Still some years. How old are you?
26.
Yeah. And you are 30?
34.
You're 34?
Yes.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not?
You're 33.
33. Yeah, I'm 33.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's true, actually.
But it goes fast, huh?
Yeah.
Time flies.
Sometimes it's scary. I'm like,
yeah, it
fuck.
is scary. Wait until you go like mid-30s and then you're like,
I have
6 more years, I'm 40. And then, some people stop.
Yeah. It goes too fast.
Yeah, it goes crazy how fast it goes. But I mean, that's why it's important, as well as you mentioned. I think it's
important to
especially
enjoy it.
For us. Yeah, I mean, we really have such a privileged life, and like you mentioned, you have a good bond with your teammates to do nice things. I mean, you see so many cool things in the world. Something I don't really. I mean, maybe I'm not also always the guy doing it, but I think it's important to do.
But no, don't do it anymore. It's impossible with how much we race. It's
True. You just need to, and that's very easy said, but enjoy the races. Like, I kind of had that, although I was disappointed about Le Mans. I kind of had that whole week where I was there, like, fuck, this, I really dreamed of this, and we're now like
Exactly.
starting this race on pole tomorrow and leading the world championship, and it's not always nice like that, but you still need to try, and I think
Exactly. You must.
because
I
before
mean,
you know it's over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you must just enjoy, like, you're there, you're at Le Mans, or you're at doing you are a factory driver, you can have the privilege to race so many races. Like, for example, I did once this WEC round in Fuji. I could replace
Robin, no?
no, it was Robin, Sean, and Rene, who had to do.
Yeah.
I think he had a birth of his child, and we won. And at the end, Vincent, yeah, you all know Vincent. You know, he's he loves to have a drink, and he said, we go. We went to Tokyo, and we said, we should go. And I still regret today that I did. I said no. I mean, I went to Tokyo, but I just went to bed and I didn't join the party. Which is, I mean, next, if it happens now again, I mean, I would go flat out. But it's just those things we have to. You're not always in Tokyo. You're not always having the perfect mood to have a nice drink or party or whatever.
I'm over that time of parties. Maybe it's because
Yeah,
I'm too
but
old
still,
and have a daughter.
You would sit on Dora. That's why.
But still, but maybe not to go partying in a club or whatever. But then just have a nice dinner, have some nice wine. And I mean, for you, maybe anyway, it doesn't really. I can't really help to say a lot because
gluten-free pizza.
yeah, maybe
Hey,
gluten-free wine, maybe.
Wine doesn't have gluten, you idiot. I had the whole week eating whatever I want.
Yeah, okay, but then you're home. I mean, everybody's always home.
Yeah,
most
but I
of the
went to
time.
a restaurant and so on.
Oh wow.
Since I'm more close with your brother, I feel so guilty every time because I'm not good on the diet and I'm eating my chocolate. I'm like, fuck, Lawrence, we're not eating. I'm like, anyway.
I have the same. Actually, this morning, I went to train and with
Wow.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, everybody say, you can clap. I'm thinking about getting those meal boxes because I never cook. I mean, I can cook a
Well, I
bit.
told you.
Did you tell me?
Yeah.
I don't like to cook. I mean, I can't really cook a lot, and I'm never in the mood to take my hand out, take a pan. You know, whatever. So I'm trying to get these boxes where they can give you breakfast, lunch, dinner. I don't need because my girlfriend is back home, so she can cook. But I'm gonna try this now and see if
I've been trying it I mean, that's probably not what you want to do, but you have these real like athlete things which you can order online. It's frozen, and you can have like lean, or you want to bulk up, or really low calories, and it's written on it like calories, protein, carbs, and fat, for example, and you put it in the microwave and you eat it, and actually it doesn't taste bad. It's pretty good I mean, if you're eating chicken, rice, and broccoli, you're
But
not
he's
gonna
too light
expect-
already. Don't make him lighter for
Yeah.
hypercar, otherwise we are dead.
I'm gonna try to be 59 next year in Le Mans.
My
I was
Chinese.
71.
But
now,
your teammate Charles Milesi is he's 55 or something.
I think he's light also, but he's a good driver. I respect him honestly.
Yeah.
But my teammate in China this weekend was 52 kilo with kit. Not my teammate, but the sister car. I was like, wow, that's a dream for hypercar.
Apparently, they're working on it now. On
There's a
weight.
change coming. I
That
think.
would
Yeah.
like Dorian Pan is also like 46 kilo with kit. So
Spoke about
imagine.
it. I mean, all respect to
But
her,
still-
but that in Le Mans is like
But
1.5
yeah,
seconds.
okay.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
at least
okay,
a second.
1.5 second, but still, not to everybody listening as well. It's an advantage. I fully agree, but you still have to put it together. It's not like
That's
you're
the
10
light guys
kilo.
told me.
Yeah, well,
That's the
No,
light guys
where do you-
talking, boys.
I mean, for everybody who's listening, to just quickly explain it, because
Yeah.
not everybody knows it. So
Hang on a
It-
minute.
there's no rule on driver weights in hypercar, especially.
No.
So
Yeah, in GT it's okay, let's say.
yeah, like for example, the worst place is Le Mans, where theoretical on paper, 10
On
kilos is almost 4/10 a lap.
Yes.
If you calculate that, it's in this 12 laps. You drive how many stints? It's a pretty decent difference. And the whole reason why I lost 6 or 7 kilos is for that. And I'm like 10, 11 kilos lighter than Andre. So on paper, I should be 4/10 a lap quicker than Andre. And you said you still have to do the lap time. Yes.
Yeah,
But-
for sure.
But where do you gain the lap time is an acceleration
Yes.
on the straight. On
But if you don't,
braking and cornering difference.
if you don't commit or don't have any feeling or whatever, and on high speed things,
Yeah,
you will lose it again.
Yeah, yes, but it's an advantage
free
you
gain,
have. It's a
let's say.
free gain you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, this is true.
You still have to drive
But
the
if
car.
you still
yeah,
want to
it's not-
be on pole or whatever, or do something properly,
Yeah, he's trying to defend the case now. that
no,
he's
no,
right
no.
and
I
everybody
fully agree.
thinks that he's
No,
quick.
I fully agree. I fully agree that there is an
I'm
advantage being
79
light.
with Kid Boy, so okay.
I
be
fully
nice
agree
for
that
me.
being light is an advantage, but if you go 10 kph slower through a high-speed corner, you
Yeah.
lose it.
No, for sure.
And
But
that's
not
the only
point.
point. And that's why I say that, yes, for sure you have an advantage, but if Jean-Louis, who is 50 kilo tomorrow, goes
No, but
drive,
that's
that's
not the
not
point.
gonna he's gonna be super fast.
No, no, no.
My second name is Jean-Louis, so a bit of respect.
Really?
Jules Jean-Louis Gounon. In Macau last year, they put it because they put the whole weekend. Jules Jean-Louis Gounon. I was last, so it's okay. Nobody saw it because we were so shit.
But yeah, all the big guys are pushing for it now, like Buemu at Toyota because they have De Vries.
Yeah, no, but
André
I,
obviously.
also I know it's a topic, and I think they will. I mean, there is a change coming. Just wanted to make
It's
a
more
point.
fair, to be honest. For me,
True.
I'm on the.
I'm not complaining because I managed to lose the weight, and I'm like, I'm not the lightest, but I'm on the light side, so I'm like, okay.
But when you're tall like me, I'm 185. I know that if I go really full diet like Lelo, I can be maybe 75 with it, and I will get sick a lot, and I will not enjoy my
Yeah.
life.
No,
And
that's true.
The sick a
still
lot,
need
the
to
sick a
enjoy
lot is
life.
not true.
I was sick when I was lighter.
Yeah, but if you do it right, then it's okay.
Yeah,
But
also-
yeah, you get if you do it wrong, it's easy to do
Yeah.
it wrong. Then you get sick.
But also, this is what I mean. Like, you need to still enjoy. I like to have a nice.
Yeah, but
drink
what is
or-
enjoying life? This is a question.
It's
wanna
a
have a
good
nice-
cookie with chocolate in it.
Exactly.
Like the Nutella in your mouth.
So you asking the question, you would enjoy that more than being the quickest driver in Le Mans. I
can still do both.
Yeah, because you're 1 meter 40. But if you're ours height,
Yeah.
would you rather have the cookies or the 4/10 lap advantage in Le Mans? I'd rather have the 4/10
Yeah, but
lap.
honestly, this would be very difficult for me because
The cookies or what?
no, yeah, to leave the cookies.
Yeah, well, no shit.
Not that I eat so many cookies to people listening, but I mean, I don't really eat so many cookies anymore lately because I mean, when I was younger, I did eat a lot of cookies, and
We're going off subject now, but
but I just like to have a nice dinner with friends and to have a nice drink, and this is something you would
still
not
more
even
important
do.
than 4/10 Le Mans.
Yeah,
Well,
because
that's a
this one evening that let's say
I would give my 4 fingers away to win Le Mans.
Oh my, yeah, those
well,
I would
maybe
not
2
do.
on each side. So I can still drive.
But honestly, if you have this one dinner a week where you just have a drink and a wine,
Oh, this is
Once
you
a
can-
week.
you can do,
voilà.
but you're doing it every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not once a week.
But yeah, everybody.
Yeah, the weight is a big thing for the hypercar
But they
guys.
should do something for it
Yeah.
to make it fair for everyone. Because there's one point. Okay, I mean, you all know me. You need to have a certain amount of commitment, which because we're athletes. But it also needs to be fair. Some guys are taller, some guys are smaller.
But
Yeah.
this isn't every sport then, huh?
Yeah, true.
Cycling, you have a similar thing.
Yeah.
The smaller guys are better at climbing and the taller guys are better in sprinting
Yeah.
or whatever.
No, that's true. So coming to another topic, because I think a lot of people, and let's not go too deep in the discussion. A lot of people asking from where Jules and myself know each other. Obviously, Jacqueline and myself. She's gonna say mainly me. I've been considering the fact to move to Andorra. And
Well,
Jules-
Jacqueline was pushing you a lot, I have to say. You
Yeah.
have been quite conservative.
yeah, she's-
I'm staying out. I'm Switzerland. Or they say.
no, we didn't consider Switzerland.
Ah, okay.
No, but yeah, that's where I got to know Jules more because he actually helped me a lot with organizing a lot of stuff and getting to know a lot of stuff. And we went to visit 2 or 3 times, and actually almost killed me on a hike last time
Oh,
we went.
yeah. And you can say the story if you want. Jacqueline was.
So yeah, the last time we went, it was just Jacqueline and me checking it out, seeing if we could live there or not. And Jules is obviously you live there now since
2020.
2020, so he showed us around, showed the apartment, and yeah, actually, indeed, we went for a hike, and it was still, I think in the end we were in like 4.5 hours. Jacqueline always says, let's go hiking, let's go walking.
It
And
was proper hike.
she always asks me that after cycling, and I'm like, not now. There, I didn't bring my bike, so I'm like, now we go hiking. Let's do a proper tour, and we went like 4.5 hours in the snow, and we did a nice route, but then it was the same way back, so we thought we can maybe just climb over that 3,000 meter high mountain and go to the other side, but we weren't able to.
It was a bit too freestyle. And Laurent was at one point, I have to say, your wife was more courageous than you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid of height.
Yeah?
And Jacqueline was going, and then it was like a corniche, I don't know if you say, like in between two rocks, and there was still snow.
Yeah.
And it was quite tricky, to be honest.
I mean, it was not hiking. You had to use your hands to.
We were on the limit.
Yeah.
And Lawrence went, and we are waiting with Jacqueline, and suddenly I turn around because we were talking, and Lawrence is like sliding, pulled the pole. Luckily, you took the pole, and stopped himself from falling. I don't think you would have hurt yourself, but
I would have gone down like
20 meters maybe.
And I was hanging on the pole like that.
Oh my god.
It was quite fun.
No,
yeah,
but
but also now, no, okay, never mind to talk about about hikes. But in the news lately, there's a lot of things. I mean, you have to take a bit into account, no? Like what you do then.
Well,
or is it like a nice
went off the
route and a nice
We went on the
path?
route first, and then we wanted to shortcut,
okay.
and we went.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of huge hiking routes.
Okay. Yeah,
Well, you
then-
always need to respect the mountain because they
Yeah.
are stronger than you, no matter what you do.
This
Also
is
the
very
weather.
Yeah.
No, but then it's okay. What do you want to say
No, but that's how.
about Andorra? How is the situation?
Well, we can. For me, the thing I think some fans wants to clarify in France is I've been quite criticized in the press or so on about
because you
moving
changed
my
your
flag.
national flag
Yeah.
and everything.
It was more about protesting against my federation at that time because I never got any help from the federation since I started because I was always off the path, you know.
Yeah.
And at the end of 2022, I won Spa, I won GT World Challenge. We won because I didn't win it alone with my teammate. We won Kayalami, we won, what else, Petit Le Mans. We won so many stuff. And they don't even invite me for the final award at the end of the year. And I'm like, they really don't care about me. And on the other side,
We have the same thing.
on the other
at
side, I
least.
had a federation in Andorra that was pushing for me, that was always talking to me, and they wanted to do something, and I was like, why would I stay to somebody that don't even invite me? I was the second French to win twice Spa with Christophe Bouchu and Romain Dumas, which are iconic drivers, and I was like, I'm not even invited. So, as a protestation, I put the flag like to race for that federation, but I'm still feeling as a French guy, and when I can be, I don't know if you hear it in my accent, but I'm still French, and my girlfriend will tell you I'm still a French idiot. So it's just I love
understand
the
it because I honestly when at one point
Lawrence would do the same when he goes to Andorra. He would change his flag as well.
Well, I mean, it's a bit the same situation. With the Belgian Federation, I've been in this national team when I was young, but since then, I mean, we had this conversation a while ago. There's been like zero appreciation or feedback. I mean, I don't want a golden plate every year, but not at all.
Kind
but
of.
No.
It's not. I think people don't understand.
Just the respect.
Exactly. Like
No, but
respect
this
of
is
what
true.
you're doing.
This is also true.
And also about the Andorra, because obviously we've been looking at it to move somewhere else. If it's Andorra, Monaco, Switzerland, whatever, and a lot of people always are like, you just want to avoid tax. But the thing behind it as well is we have the luxury of having a job where we don't have an office at location A. We travel the world to work, so we can live wherever we want. And who doesn't want to live then potentially somewhere else than their home country? And yes, you also save money by living somewhere more
Small detail.
optimized. But it's not just that; it's also the
Andorra
weather.
is nice, and let's not play for the devil. I'm not
It's a difficult discussion at the moment. Actually, the discussion is closed.
We need
All right,
Michelle
let's
to
go to the
push.
next question.
I have you. Let's go to the gossip
gossip I
question.
know a story. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's completely right, but it's in Daytona apparently, where you were doing it with Land, and the dog always gave. I also drove for Land, and this dog always gave pills, and I would never take them. I would put them in my mouth and then do if I would take them and then throw them out again because I had no clue what he was giving me, and I never liked those pushy physios. But apparently, I don't know, he gave you a sleeping pill or I don't know, the full thing, and you almost crashed because you fell asleep or...
It was the other way around. Like he gave us, I was with Chris Smith, best friend.
Yeah.
And actually, this guy, I know, what was he, a doctor? Rudik or
Rajukovic.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
He was very nice. Yeah.
And he was taking my blood, and he said, "You miss testosterone.
Yeah, he was from some country.
You need testo shock." I say, "It's good." Yeah, it's good. It's very good. And I went out, and my first stint was supposed to be a single or a double, I don't remember, and I did a triple. And I went out of the car, I was already tired. Not tired, but you take a hit. For me, always when you do a 24 race and you start by a triple, you already take a small hit, let's say.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Come with me," and he gave me that pill, and it was cold, I remember. And I, like you, I said, "But what is in the pill?" "Oh, good, okay. Well, I see if the other guys are taking it, I also take it.
Yeah.
And it was cold. I remember I was cold in the box, in Daytona. That year was super cold.
Yeah.
He's like, "You take it 30 minutes before driving," and I take it, and suddenly I'm sweating from the forearms, and I'm in fire. And Miz was in the car. I take it when we are driving. The driving change, he could not get out. Take him out, and I'm driving. I think I took the lead or whatever. I was driving super good, and he's like, "Box," and I'm like, "Why? You did a triple stint." Okay. And I went out of the car and I was like so fresh. And I asked Reddy, I said, "But it's legal?" He said, yeah, it's good. And so on.
Yeah.
And I think it was legal, but actually it was actually, like
Well,
you
if
said,
it's something with testosterone, it
Yeah.
probably isn't.
I will not take it anyway now with the experience. At that
Yeah.
time I was 22.
Yeah, for sure.
After watching Icarus on
Yeah.
Netflix, I would never take anything anymore. But yeah, it was we all took it. So you can ask Mies and the Philippi, and he was actually a very nice doctor and a nice physio.
He was nice. Yeah. He was.
If
He
you know
was.
him.
Yeah. He always gave.
Did
those
you
pills.
went to his place in?
No, never.
I don't
Oh
remember.
yeah, I did once. Yes. I went
Where
to
was
the
it?
training
Which
camp.
country?
Next to Germany.
No, it was far away. It was cold. Was it Albania or something?
No, no, it was either Slovakia
Maybe Slovenia. Yeah.
or Czech
Slovakia,
Republic
Slovakia next to Germany?
or Czech Republic. It's not Czech Republic.
No,
I
it
think
was not Czech Republic. I think it's Slovakia. But anyway, you went in that training camp.
I went there as well,
Yeah.
and I like everybody. I do my training, but I
I
was
was
for
so
sure
shit
not
also.
the guy,
reference.
the reference guy. I was always fucked after 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But
we
yeah,
have-
no.
You
Yeah, I
have
thought
always
it-
driver like this for me. You have drivers that are not fit, and
Yeah.
then when they go in the car, I think we are not so fit when we compare to your brother.
Yeah.
But last year I did like 11 hours 30 in Spa, and I was fucked, but it was okay. I could do it.
Yeah, it's just how intensely you give yourself
Yeah.
when you drive. And Lawrence, for example, everybody knows he gives.
No, I'm quite
101%.
relaxed since a couple of years. In the past, I used to be like,
Yeah, you came
this.
out and you're like,
The best is Lelo.
Matt Campbell is the worst. If you look at his onboard, you think he's not going to do an in lap. Is this the right lap? Is he pushing? And you see the steering wheel, like,
yeah, it's
Like
it's
this.
crazy how everybody is. But
then you look at Kevin, he's like, it's the same car.
Kevin is always impressive when you look at the lap. You're like,
When we and
"Wow."
Andre are looking the onboard live, I was like, well, he pulls it off. How? I don't know. But
it's crazy how the guy can do it. But
you told me the story last time in Andorra when we had dinner at your place. The famous Michelin story.
That's a tricky story to say.
We can skip it if you want. You can polish it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I need to think.
I don't know.
Allez, let's go. We do it. The people, they like it for the show. Anyway, they know it in my. So
I don't know
We
the
can,
story.
we can still turn back. It's not too late, but
I think it's okay.
I think it's okay as well.
So we are in IMSA with I would say one of my best friends from racing is Daniel Juncadella, because we get along very well, and we won a lot of races together, and we are on the same line. And we had a very difficult season in IMSA. The BOP was very difficult for us not difficult because we won 4 races, but we arrived in Road America, and we were playing more golf than racing because we were not motivated, and we knew we had no chance to win. We were like 1.5 seconds off on pure pace. And when you are bored, you do some mistakes. So we had the grid walk, I'm going to say the full story. So Danny gets involved also because I took the full blame for him. And we're on the grid wall, and the Michelin guy come, the beep.
Yeah, the
The-
blown up.
The
dome
iconic
or whatever.
Michelin. Is it on your Porsche? No, we don't see him. Yeah, well, on the tires, if you zoom on the tires, you would see him. Comes, and the fans were a bit drunk in front of us, and they're like, do something. And Danny draw a little penis with the Sharpie on the side of the Michelin guy, the beep. And the guys, the fans are laughing. Very childish, 5 years old joke. And me, for sure, I'm like, I'm going to take it to the next level. So I decide to do it in the front of the Michelin guy, but bigger. And we do it, and Michelle was very angry at this. She's going to get angry when I'm going to say it. At least Jacqueline is laughing, so I can say your wife laughed about it. And in front of me, I turn around, the fans are crying, Danny's crying, and there is a guy looking at me, what are you doing? And it's the Michelin, I never knew, but the bib, is, after the whole thing that you will know, the whole story, I realized how iconic the bib is. And the bib has always a security. So people don't do stupid stuff with him because it's the image of Michelin. What are you doing? So they take the bib out and they bring him on the little card that we have in the US. And I swear, I'm sorry, Michelin. And we look at the bib sitting, and the bib is always like this. And the bib is sitting like this on the card with a massive penis drawn on him. And everybody is... And I realize, like, I think we're going to get in trouble. And Danny gets scared. We finish, and we're like, maybe we went too far. I went too far. Danny started up, but I went too far. We go play golf again, and we get a call from my team manager, Yannick. He's like, tomorrow morning you have a meeting with John Doonan at 6:30. I'm like, not good. John Doonan is the boss of himself.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's gonna like to look at this podcast, but anyway. And I arrived at 6:30, and they were very hungry, which I understand because I didn't understand at that time that I was touching the image of one of their sponsor and going through it. Anyway, they wanted to ban me from the series, and at that time, Danny in the inside was discussing with Corvette, which is an American team. We were in America, so he's like, "Please, bro, like." Take the full blame because there was 2 pennies on the Michelin guy, not one. He said, "Take the full blame, and I will help you in whatever comes." And so we are doing the thing, and the last question is like, "And we have one more question for you." I say, "Yeah," because I apologized, and I said, "Look, it's a humor. The humor was terrible joke. Some people, it's humor. Why did you need to do 2 pennies?" And I'm like, "Fuck, Danny." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so stupid." We get out, and I'm like, okay, I just got a massive bollocking. My license is not cut off, and we're going to go race. And then I come home, and I receive a $5,000 penalty for not respecting the conduct of IMSA, which I took it, so Danny helped me to do it in half. And obviously, Mercedes was very pissed because when you're racing in Callaway and so on, you're for fun. You don't need to... You're not accountable of something, but now you're representing BMW, I'm representing AMG, you're representing Porsche, which are big brands. So it could be a big issue. And they say, we hope that your sponsors with the tech don't hear about it and so on. And 3 days later, I receive a text from the sponsor itself, Mr. McNeil. It's like, "Hey, Jules, we have to talk about what you did and so on." So I'm sweating. I'm like, I killed my career, He's like, "Yeah, we have a big issue. How can we get the suit? We love the joke." And I'm like, okay. So anyway, that's how the story ended up. We had another bill to pay for the suit, and so not proud of this one at all. Because it could have cost me a lot of issue, nowadays. So
I mean, we all make those. In hindsight, we all make those.
We all have a story that is. I mean, that can give you shit. I mean,
did you have an issue with your road car, your company car? Or?
Yeah, I've rode off a few cars already. But I mean, no BMW, so there's nothing wrong there.
No BMW yet?
Touch the wood of the table.
No BMW.
One in Le Mans, no.
Yeah, this was rode off, yeah.
I also had...
Yeah, everybody has a story.
I haven't publicly told mine one yet, I think. But
which one is it? Come on, I open up, you need to tell us yours.
Which one?
Let me quickly look at my wife. Which
There's
one?
so many.
Come on.
So you can tell
Well, let's
all
go.
of them then.
Because you took one, I'll take one as well.
Thank you.
I'll take one.
Ah,
No, I mean I just corrected his
back
bad
in the
English.
day, was my first year at Porsche. No? I'll polish it a bit as well. We were allowed. I was living in Weibling, so less than 1 hour.
Oh,
from,
this one?
No, that's not.
no, another one.
From Weissach. And we were at that point we were allowed
Oh, I
to
know
take
the
home
one, yeah.
special cars like GT3 RS, GT2 RS, Spider,
That's a good one.
and we could keep it for the weekend and drive with it. Not anymore now, but
Since then, or is that since
Since that
since
day.
Lawrence Van Doorn?
and I had the GT3 RS already and another one, and I mean Stuttgart has some nice mountain roads, and it was you could enjoy the car. And it was the first time I had GT2 RS, and it's fucking quick. But it has these Michelin Cup tires, which is pretty much a road race tire. And when it's cold, it's like a race tire. There's no grip. And I was driving home from Weissach, a lot of traffic. Couldn't, was just in traffic, was driving slowly. And then there's one small little road to go home. And there's never, I do it on the bike, there's never traffic and so on. And I mean, out of the first corner, I go a bit. I don't even know. I'm not gonna go there. What speed I was doing, or so on. But anyway, I come to the first corner, and I turn in. I'm like, fuck.
Nobody's home.
There's nothing happening. I'm like, shit, and trying to save it, and went straight into a tree. And yeah, I mean, airbags off. Part of the one rear wheel was laying backwards, and it was my first year at Porsche. I was like, fuck. I mean, that's same. That's my career. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sitting behind a tree.
Sitting.
Was I crying? Close to? Yeah, I was crying. Called my wife. She came. She gave me a lot of shit on top, obviously. And then there was the newspapers coming. Because they called it true, they had to tow the car, and
The funny thing is,
towing the car was Marcus Winkelhock, his uncle, because they have a towing company. And then the newspapers came, and then because they heard about it, well, I was hiding, behind the tree, and then I had to call.
you were like, that's still there. Wait.
I had to call. They obliged me to go to the hospital, but I didn't have anything. I mean, I was used to more. Not to call Porsche and this, and like fuck, and then it came in the newspaper the next day, but luckily without any names. It said Porsche employee had a crash. If it would have had my name, I would have been out. 100%.
Nah, I don't think so.
Wow, at that point, you know how it is. They have to take an action, or it would be a lot higher chance. But at that point, luckily enough, Frank Walliser was the boss, and he gave me shit, and I had to. I didn't take my bonus that year, so it was quite a big penalty. Money I didn't get, which fair enough. I would do it again because I was still keeping my contract. And then they kept the car in Weissach.
In a museum?
No, there's like a place.
Ripped off by famous Porsche.
Yeah, there's a place where all the crashed cars are, and they put it up front, so everybody on the big road passing there could see the car. And then after a while, everybody kind of knew, and yeah. Got a lot of shit.
I heard about it actually.
Yeah,
I remember it. But yeah, it's scary because when you do those mistakes, you realize like I still need to be professional.
Yeah, but I mean, we're all young and we all live this rock star life, or want to call it, and you start to do
You take
stupid
confidence,
stuff. Yeah,
and
and then you're like, yeah, nah.
Then it bites. What about you? Come on, we both gave a big story. You need to give us one.
I think Dries should stay out of after the last week's podcast. He's still on the fire.
I'm still in the spotlight.
Come on. You've never been so political anyway.
I'm thinking about one.
Well, think about one. In the meantime, I have another question for you.
You don't get away from this anyway. I'm telling you.
There's one, I mean, you mentioned it as well. There's, for those who don't know, I mean, you are in a relationship with Michelle Gatting.
I hope so.
Check your phone.
I
You
don't
guys
have
are
a-
getting married soon. No, I mean you've been together since a while now, and for those who don't know, but I guess I do, they do. Michelle Gatting is also racing in IMSA, WEC, a lot of championships
World
for,
ELMS, yeah.
for Iron Dames, and how Emily always says it, in the pink car, passing the Porsche, now it's the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
That must be quite special, I guess, in good and bad, or bad, good and special occasions.
I think it was very special because, first of all, we met in Spa.
Yeah, well, you go there straight away. I heard you, through a good source,
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
that you forced her to go out on a date with you. There was no choice.
But this
Also,
is
she basically had no
come
other
on.
choice.
Yeah, for sure. You know, this is for sure. No, but I it's like
I'm not mentioning the source.
you know the games, guys. Like I was liking their picture. She didn't like back. I'm like, fuck, she's difficult. I like again. She doesn't like back. I follow. She doesn't follow. And we like when it's difficult, at least for me. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna give up. Unfollow, follow, unfollow, follow. And at one point, she likes my picture. I'm like, okay, I got first attention. Then I slide into her DMs, and she was super rude.
You
'cause
slide and where?
into her DMs. And she was quite rude, to be honest. She was cold. I think we have a different culture from Denmark to France. When in France we're very open. In Denmark, I'm gonna get some nice point for her parents. It's very cold, so you're less open. So I started pushing, and we text a lot, and then we met for the first time in Spa. And while she was driving, I was going down to Eau Rouge because, you know, when guys are looking, before Eau Rouge, you have time to see. I don't know for you guys.
True.
And every lap I was like this when she was driving. And
Like
then,
you were going all in. Eh?
yeah, I was like, I need to make it happen. And actually we went out, and the first time we kissed and so on was like after the race. I won overall, and she won in class in Gold Cup, I think at the time. So it was like, and we spent the night together. Yeah, we spent the night together with the 2 trophy on the table, and it was quite badass. We were like, fuck, we are having a good night, and we are both won the race. So I was pretty, that day I was like, okay, she's pretty special, this one. I actually like this one a lot. So that was the first day.
Scoring points again. But yeah, how is it on
Plus very much now. Eh?
on daily life? Because I guess it's quite cool to share the same job. I mean, you have shitload in common and to speak about, but I guess it's also situations where it's difficult and maybe annoying, maybe not, but yeah, it may come to difficult situations.
Yeah, I prefer not to answer to this question. No, yeah, for sure it's difficult, but I think it's pretty amazing because it's very rare to have
That's for sure.
2 drivers, I think. We share a lot of stuff, but it's also difficult, like we spoke before.
Yeah.
Sometimes what's difficult is one has a very good result and the other one has a bad result. We all know how high and lows works in our sport.
Sure.
There's more lows than high. And imagine your partner won a big race and you retired. It's also difficult to enjoy the victory of the other one because you're still pissed for your race. So I think it's still pretty amazing because we pull each other up. She supports me a lot and I support her a lot. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we can speak, like you say, if you explain to your girlfriend that the car is a bit too much pitch sensitive, she's going to tell you, okay.
Oh, nice.
Nice. It's nice pitch sensitivity. And my girlfriend will tell me, okay, why don't you try something
Yeah,
else?
exactly, yeah.
So we understand the struggles and we understand, I think what was always difficult for me in my previous life, it's to have a girlfriend that understands our life.
Exactly.
So for me, racing will be always number one, at least now. And when you say that to a girlfriend that doesn't understand motorsport, she thinks you are...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for her, racing is also a number one. So that's what I like about it. And
So you both come on number 2 for each other. So it's just not bad, I mean.
could be wrongly interpreted what you just said. But no, it's a lot of fun. We are both very competitive. And this I like a lot because I'm a very bad winner. She's a very bad loser. So when I win, I make sure that she's really.
No.
What's the story about Road Atlanta? Was it Road Atlanta?
When I was coming to your house, I was like, I hope they're not gonna ask me about Road Atlanta. She's like, sure, go ahead, brother. And when she say brother, she is pissed.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go for it, Michelle. I'm sorry, you have to be there. Road Atlanta, very nice. We are P2, I think, behind the Lamborghini or something like this. And I come up behind the pink car. I'm catching the pink car. I'm like, please don't tell me it's Michelle. Because I don't want to fight with Michelle. And I ask my engineer, who is driving? And my engineer, Matt, say, your dear love, Michelle Gatting. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to flash once. She should move out of the way. We are in a different class. She's 7 laps down because they had a crash. So I'm like, no problem. I come out, 1 flash, not moving. I'm like, okay. Second flash, not moving. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And then I lost it. I spent so much time without her, and she just wanted to fight me. You ask her the next time, and I think we spoke a lot about it after that. But yeah, so basically I boxed because we were blocked, and it's actually
You never got.
I could not pass because she's fast. She's a fast driver, so
sure.
I could not pass. But we were losing time, so we boxed. And we ended up winning the race. So Michelle I was really, really angry because I didn't understand it,
Yeah.
And we slept very far apart that night.
That was my next question. But
Very, very far apart. But then we had a good talk about it. And that's a situation that would never happen for any drivers
No,
normally.
for sure.
So that's the downside. But now I think we both learned about it. And we are stronger since then also. So it was a good story.
It's
but
good to happen sometime. I mean,
that's why in WEC I was very happy to drive in hypercar. So I was like, no, you can't block me anyway. So you can do what you want. I have 200 horsepower more than you anyway. So we laugh about it now.
No, but I think it's like say it's special, but yeah.
it's cool. It must be cool to experience both the same world, same thing. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Jacqueline, she's always more. She doesn't race, but she's more passionate about it 90% of the time than me. Like, I would say if she would race, she would punch someone in the face every weekend.
But with me, it's, if I would do a bad quali, I'm P10, 4 tenths off. Victor would say, but you're still the best. I'm like, what? I'm 4 tenths off, P10. I'm fucking shit.
But you tried.
But yeah, she means it well. But
Yeah.
it's funny how everybody.
Yeah, I would struggle, I think, with someone who has no clue at all about motorsport, because it's not an easy sport to explain. Huh? It'll take you 3 years.
Yeah. But it's Michelle. Sometimes she's also like, I receive a text, I don't remember. She's like, I saw you driving. You're not focused. What are you doing? And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, leave me alone. My daddy's already pissed at me. So what are you doing? So if your girlfriend doesn't understand, she's like, how was your race? Yeah, good. With her, I can't.
I guess everything is pro and cons.
True.
Yeah.
So, I think this was a very good one, very interesting one. We passed.
I'm
passed
not,
our hour
I'm
mark
not
by far,
leaving without your brother saying what bad thing he did.
Yeah, no, I was coming there.
I'm not leaving.
Well, I think one which is obvious, everybody knows. So I can say it again, or it's the one I did.
Something spicy that we didn't hear.
I can't. I don't remember one, to be honest.
Come on.
Like a good one, like a one to laugh with.
Well, we can also cry about it, but
Yeah. Or that you are not proud.
Well, I'm not proud I crashed. I was so happy. First of all, there was a rule within when I was still at Audi, which company car you could order, and I was like, "Fuck, everybody else can order this. I can also order it, but I couldn't." But I said, "Okay, fuck it, I send it," and it was the RS6, and I got it, which they accepted. I was like, "Oh yeah, super happy." And then 3 months after, I shunted it into a how do you say, a bordure. A curb. I took a curb massively, and I broke the whole thing, and the chassis was destroyed as well. Like, not because of the...
You destroyed a chassis by
yeah,
taking a
on a
curb.
road car, which is very weird, because the damage was... I mean, there was quite a lot of damage. it was not a big hit. Like I could still drive to my house, like on 3 wheels, but I still parked it. And but apparently the chassis was hit and it was bent a bit, so they had to. I don't know what they did, but then unfortunately I called Marcus because Marcus Winkelhock always has like 1 million stories always. I said, Marcus, sorry, I need your help. I did this, and what should I do? Yeah, no worries. Just send them an email, call them, all fine. I was like, okay, if that's easy, I just try. I called the guy. What the fuck? I'm like, oh shit, it's not as easy as I thought. But
Marcus is the best.
He has so many stories always.
I have one with him. The year I drove with him in Spa, I'm sleeping, and you know how you sleep during a 24 hours, and I just feel somebody's coming, and so I'm sleeping, and I hear, and I open my eyes, and it's the ass of Marcus there. Hey, wake up! You are next. I'm like, mate, you're 38 years old. You just fart in my face to wake me up for my stint at 4 a.m. Okay, I like it. You're a crazy guy.
This should be our intro of the podcast, I think.
Nah, don't do it.
No, he has a lot of stories.
He has a lot of stories.
I mean,
Marcus.
he's 38, but he's not really 38.
No.
Maybe now he's got a kid and everything.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
getting
change.
but still.
I think the lesson of this podcast is never give your company car to one of the two brothers, the Vantor brothers.
This I wanted to mention. So mine was a production, not a production car, so it was gonna be destroyed afterwards anyway. So
Makes
My
you feel
one was
better.
just a
Yeah.
car, which I crashed.
I mean, it's a lesson for everybody. You should stay
it's true.
smart and
It's something which
don't
happened.
draw
and
penises and stuff. Don't crash cars and
And drive fast
yeah.
on the track, not on the road.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh well.
Thank you, Jules. It was very interesting. I
Thanks
wish
for
you-
coming by. Was a nice one. Was a cool,
it was
interesting
very
one.
good, very funny one.
Oh, you say here, Dankjewel?
Dankjewel.
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 We have the 24 hours of Spa this weekend.
Yep.
So I
Gonna have a
wish-
lovely race between each other. Imagine we shunt each other off again.
So let's do a bet. Who is gonna win? You think, guys? So maybe when we watch the podcast after, we can laugh about it. Your top 3. Give a podium.
Fuck, I haven't even checked the entry list.
I didn't see the BOP fully yet, but
Ah,
I
come on.
think
Just started.
Well, I'm very unfamiliar with the entry list, to be honest. I haven't.
I think difficult one.
Come on, just a bet for fun.
McLaren, Lambo, Mercedes.
Mercedes first.
No, third.
McLaren,
Don't like
Lambo.
this.
I think the McLaren will be fast this year.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. I just have a gut feeling.
I think maybe you will finally win. It's about time.
Yeah.
I hope, to be honest, I think it will be difficult because we won last year and it's difficult to win twice in a row. But
True.
I think the Uber Auto Porsche maybe is the.
Yeah,
the
especially I think
underdog.
they have a good
Driver
strategy.
lineup.
Good strategy. No, let's see. I mean, it's such a difficult race.
I'm curious
anyway.
because half the track is new asphalt now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody told me that F4 is like 3 seconds quicker.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. The lap times will be much
Right.
faster now.
that's good for the BMWs. They have no more deck now, so he's happy.
It's something which helps for sure. But yeah, let's see.
We'll see. We're
So
heading
who's
that
your
to-
top 3?
Nah, be fair, I still have to check the entry list fully. I have no idea, no clue. I mean, I don't even know who you are driving with.
In a Mercedes.
Yeah, but I mean your teammates.
Stolz Schiller,
So chill.
the German. So, okay, I
And
will
you?
go and I will say BMW because they have been very strong this year. Maybe Porsche also.
Yeah.
And maybe us, I hope. Something like this.
Anyway, I hope it will be a good close battle.
Yeah.
For me in SRO, it's always like,
Yeah, true.
You
well,
can
some
complain
years
about-
more than others, but
yeah, but you can complain about BOP in different championships,
Mm.
but in SRO, I feel worst case scenario.
You guys at Merck do you get
This-
a bonus every time you complain about BOP? Every interview after the race,
Well, I never complain
we
about
were
for
we
sure,
were not
as a
there.
road, there's the less amount of bullshit
Exactly.
This is true.
pre-race
Yeah,
and
this
so
is
on.
For me, I always said, and I had a
Too
fight
many cars.
with Mathieu Jaminet about it one day because I think it's the second year when we won Bathurst, he come to me in the bar. You know, what's the name of this bar? That's next to
Ah,
track.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
goes there.
I'm the wrong guy to ask. They're at the hotel.
No. It's like a
No.
5-minute drive.
Everybody goes there. Anyway, he tells me, congrats on the F1 win. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, you were in F1 today. We were in F3. I'm like, Mathieu, for me, for sure we had a good BOP that year. But
When the Merc was 1-2.
Yeah. You still need to win the race. You still need to pull it off. And for me, that's the only thing I don't like about some drivers. Like, even when the BOP is good, some guys have massive BOP and they still don't win. Because you need to...
You still need to pull off the race.
Yeah.
True. But life makes it just easier.
Now it feels like the same excuse when Dries is light.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding.
It's like this year, the Porsche in Bathurst, it was... You cost me a lot of things there.
I'll take it for once.
All right, boys.
Good. Let's. Emily would be happy to see you. I think she's waiting upstairs. She came back from school.
Well, your daughter always speak to me in German, and my German is very poor.
Yeah.
So I'm like, genau, it's good.
She said, Jules is coming. Michelle as well. I said, no, just Jules. Like, oh. No.
Like, you should get Michelle once.
Yeah,
I think for the audience, for the girls also watching, it's quite nice to see a woman
100%. Let's see. When are you guys flying back or home? Flying back home together, or are you flying somewhere else?
No, I go to Suzuka.
Yeah. Let's see. Maybe.
You go to Interlagos, no?
Yeah, but that's in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Sunday evening or Monday morning. Do you have time for another one?
Monday I have time. Tuesday and Wednesday I have no time.
No, but for somebody who is leaving Monday lunchtime, we can maybe do one Monday morning.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
You need to ask her.
Dries
All right.
apparently has one with Valentino Rossi this weekend.
Yes, exactly.
Let's
You
see
have
if that's
what?
good.
We have a podcast with Rossi.
Oh, nice.
Well, he's been saying that since 12 months. I haven't seen him yet, but
Well, I know the race didn't start yet, so we can't see him yet.
good. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yes.
For those who's listening, this episode is also available on YouTube. And yeah, let us know what you think, and maybe give us some suggestions about who we should have next on the show. Thank you, Jules, for coming.
Yes.
Dankjewel, boys. See ya.
Graag gedaan, Kurt.
What does that mean?